What if I told you that racing mind of yours isn't anxiety at all, but actually your brain playing chess against life itself, mapping out every possible domino effect 10 moves ahead, while everyone else is still figuring out their first move? That constant mental chatter you've been trying to silence might actually be your greatest competitive advantage disguised as a weakness. I know exactly what you're going through because I used to think my overactive mind was broken too. Those endless what-if scenarios, the mental rehearsals of every possible outcome, the way your brain seems to never switch off, sound familiar? Well, what if I told you that what you've been calling overthinking is actually strategic depth, and it's something most people desperately wish they had? Let me paint you a picture. While your friends are casually walking into situations blind, your mind has already run through 17 different scenarios, identified 12 potential failure points, and developed contingency plans for each one. You're not worrying, you're conducting advanced reconnaissance missions in your head. You're that person who brings an umbrella when there's only a 20% chance of rain. Not because you're paranoid, but because you understand probability and preparation. This ability to mentally simulate outcomes isn't a bug in your system, it's a feature. Think about it this way. Your brain is running high-performance simulations 24/7, constantly updating its models based on new information, while others are flying blind through life. You're operating with advanced radar systems that detect problems before they even appear on the horizon. The science backs this up too. Researchers have found that people who engage in what they call constructive worry actually perform better in high-stakes situations. Why? Because they've already mentally rehearsed the challenges they might face. Your brain isn't malfunctioning when it runs through all those scenarios. It's preparing you for battle. But here's where it gets really interesting. That mental simulation engine of yours doesn't just prepare you for problems, it gives you something even more valuable: strategic depth. While most people can only think 1 or 2 moves ahead, you're seeing the entire game board. You understand cause and effect, chains that are invisible to others. You're the person who sees that if you take that promotion, it means longer hours, which means less time with family, which could strain relationships, which might affect your performance, creating a feedback loop that others won't recognize until they're already trapped in it. This isn't catastrophic thinking, this is systems thinking. You're seeing interconnections and downstream effects that others miss completely. In a world where most people make decisions based on immediate gratification, you're considering the long-term implications. That's not a disorder, that's strategic genius. Now, I'm not saying every anxious thought is productive. There's definitely a difference between strategic simulation and destructive rumination. The key is learning to distinguish between the two. Strategic thinking serves a purpose, it's solution-oriented, it considers multiple variables, and it helps you prepare for challenges. Destructive rumination, on the other hand, is when you get stuck in loops without any productive outcome. But here's what most people don't understand about your type of mind. You're not just thinking about problems, you're running quality assurance tests on reality itself. Every scenario you play out is essentially a stress test, helping you identify weak points before they become actual failures. Companies pay millions of dollars for this kind of predictive analysis, and you're doing it naturally. The real tragedy isn't that you overthink, it's that society has convinced you this superpower is a weakness. We live in a culture that celebrates quick decisions and bold moves, but what they don't tell you is how many of those quick decisions lead to preventable disasters. Your careful analysis might seem slow to others, but it's thorough. Your hesitation isn't weakness, it's quality control. Think about the most successful people you know. I guarantee they're not the ones making rash decisions without considering consequences. They're the ones who think deeply, plan extensively, and consider multiple angles before moving forward. Sound like anyone you know? That's right, it sounds like you. Your mental simulation engine also gives you incredible empathy and emotional intelligence, because you're constantly considering how others might react or feel in different situations. You develop a deep understanding of human behavior. You can predict how people will respond to different approaches, which makes you incredibly effective in relationships and professional settings. The difference between anxiety and strategy isn't in the thinking process itself, it's in how you frame and use that thinking. When you recognize that your mind's constant analysis is actually advanced strategic planning, you transform from a victim of your thoughts into a master strategist. So the next time someone tells you to stop overthinking, remember this: while they're playing checkers with life, making simple move-by-move decisions, you're playing three-dimensional chess, considering variables they can't even see. Your racing mind isn't a problem to be fixed. It's a high-performance engine that just needs the right driver. The world needs more people who think deeply, who consider consequences, who plan for contingencies. Don't let anyone convince you to turn down that incredible mental machinery of yours. Instead, learn to harness it, direct it, and use it to create the strategic advantage it was always meant to be. Your overthinking isn't holding you back, it's preparing you for victory. If you got value from this video, like it and subscribe to our channel.